Hey everyone, we are here down at the City of Rockingham with the Councillor of City of Rockingham, Peter Hudson. How are you this morning?
Very well, Nicole. Great to be here with you.
Yes, we're pretty excited to have you here as well. And we really want to know, what are you doing here for starters?
Of course, I'm an invitee of the Naragebup Environment Centre today. It's a great locally run organisation, all handled by volunteers. And in the scope of my role as a councillor for the city, I've been invited to come along and help open and celebrate the local environment that we've got here. For me, it's all about the local history of Rockingham and potentially where we've come from, but also where we're going as a city. And that obviously extends into our environmental sector as well. So important that we have people running this centre and keeping people abreast of the environmental issues that are affecting the community. Things that people are concerned about is about making Rockingham a beautiful and vibrant city to live now and into the future. It's a great place to live, work and play, and this centre and the people that run this place are a fantastic chapter showcasing exactly what Rockingham is all about.
So what do you love, like I know that you said what you said then, so what I want to know is, what do you love about this place? Because I've actually never been here before and I didn't even know it was here, and so tell me more about what you love about it.
Well, I'm someone who was actually born in this area, so I'm actually born just down the road, about 5 minutes away. And so this is somewhere that I've actually grown up coming to. So I remember out of school care and things like that, coming in during the school holidays, coming to this place and learning a little bit about, as I said, it is always the history for me, learning about, what Rockingham used to be. It's got all of the memorabilia from 60, 80, 100 years ago from this area. To me, that's really interesting as someone who reads a lot of history. But it's also really interesting to me the amount of animal species and flora and fauna that they've got displayed here. So I think I saw my first ever whale bone was at this location. I was about 7 years old or something like that, and so this is a bone out of a blue whale, and I was like, wow, that's pretty damn cool. And it's just really exciting to me that the kids and the new generation that are coming through get to come and experience this in the new light. It's 2024, and we've got a whole new range of history and science to reflect on. But it's also really great for people like me and dare I say the older generation who can come along and experience, well, this is what Rockingham used to be like. This is our history, and it's so important that we keep that alive.
No, that's it. I totally know what you're saying. I used to come down here for holidays when I was younger, because I'm from Perth myself, and it was more of a holiday destination. I love the fact that you've actually lived here and that you actually talk about after school care, because that is what happens. They go and bring them to excursions. And so have you found, coming and visiting, that they've still got volunteers that stay with them a couple of years? Have you found that? And how does that make you feel?
You'd be really well placed to talk to people like Janine and Marjorie and a few other people who've been here, because they'll all tell you the same story. They've all been volunteering here for like 20 years. I think the least amount of time that I've heard of someone volunteering here for is like in the order of 7 or 8 years, that they've been constantly donating their time. These people are not paid to run this place, but many of the people here and the volunteers here have been super passionate about the environment and about getting real movement in that space for in excess of 20 years. And that's how long that I've been knowing about this place for, is since I was young and started coming through after school care, as I said, and things like that. You see the same people are still engaged in the same space, and it's a really beautiful thing to see that passion of the volunteers coming through.
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying, because even when I was, we were interviewing Janine just the other day, and she was telling us about it, and it was just amazing how much of an effect that this place has on her, as well as the community. I also wanted to know, what else are you doing right now in the community?
Wow, I'd have to give you the abridged list, because there is so much going on in Rockingham right now. It is a really exciting time, and obviously I'm speaking on my personal behalf and not on behalf of the city, but I can tell you that there is so much exciting news coming through at this time as we go into Christmas especially. There's so much that's happening in the community around there, community events and things like that. Actually today, on the day that we're recording, it's the award ceremony for the Castaways Art Exhibition, which is another fantastic initiative run and hosted by the city on the foreshore just up the road. And so that's all about encouraging local artists and attracting tourism down to Rockingham and making this an even more beautiful place to live and grow. And we do that through our Environment Centre, we do that through our art exhibitions and a whole range of other events in the community coming up. So people should absolutely stay abreast of what's going on in the community. Check out the city website, check out the various Facebook pages. There are so many events and so many amazing things going on. for adults, family, kids, all sorts going on, even around the Christmas period when everyone's on holidays. The city is still working, we're still working, and we're going to be putting on the greatest time for our local residents.
Wow, that sounds so exciting. So what you were saying is go to their website, check that out, and then I'm sure Facebook will remind us anywhere of events as well, which is awesome. Yep. Did you want to leave any parting words with your community?
No, just live your best life. I think that's what the theme of the day. It's such a beautiful day today. It's a great day out with your family. Take advantage when these things pop up. Look, it's a beautiful spot to be. If you've got the time, come down to the Environment Centre today. Learn what they're all about. Speak to the volunteers. They know a lot more about it all than me. But yeah, be community-minded. I think that's what the theme of this place is. It always has been. That's been my experience. So yeah, very keen to see people engaging with the community. Come out, speak to your local representatives, get to know new people, and just have an enjoyable time of the day.
Yeah, that's what I love about City of Rockingham, because they create events. We went to an event just the other day, and I personally know somebody that then reached out to somebody else, and then that person was having a hard time, and then now they're friends, and then they're doing things together. And that's what I love about it. Even though you come to events and you might not even know anybody, you can still walk away knowing somebody, and then that has a ripple effect on your life and other people's lives. So that's what I love about it. It's got that community feel, and so loving. Well, thank you so much for letting us interview you, and I hope you enjoy this wonderful day and this event. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Nicole, and well done to IPL Radio. You guys do a fantastic job. Really great to see you here.
Thank you. Bye. Hi everyone, we're here with Dawn Jex, and she's a councillor of Rockingham, and I'd love to know more about what you're here for today.
Well, look, there's lots of reason why I'm here. This centre has been an enormously important facility for a very long time. It's been here for quite a while, and the community asset and spirit we have here is really, really important. Look, people in Rockingham, they come to Rockingham for our lovely environment, community feel, and nature and all the rest of it. And so it's really important that we respect and celebrate those things. This centre has got a little bit of everything. I've seen it grow over the decades. I remember way back when it was first built, and all the hard work from the volunteers. It's really quite challenging to get something like this up and running. Across the road there we've got the beautiful Lake Richmond. This whole environment, we're sitting on the edge of Cape Perrin, 260 hectares of Cape Perrin Regional Park, and then to have this centre nestled in the middle, it's just beautiful. I mean, who wouldn't love to come to Rockingham? I mean, environment's really, really important. In fact, in community surveys, as a councillor, we ask the community, what's important to you? Why do you want to live here? And top of the list is environment, natural environment now, laid-back lifestyle. So it's wonderful to have a place here that we can all enjoy. And just the education. I mean, we know climate change, sustainability, they're really big issues now. And I go to quite a few of the schools because I often get invited to talk about the penguins, which takes me to another local issue, which is tied in with environment and education. So I head up the Save Rockingham's Little Penguins campaign. I started that group 3 years ago when I read a 2019 population estimate of the little penguin colony on Penguin Island, that there's been a 80% decline in little penguins on Penguin Island since 2007. So 80% decline since 2007. And just last year in November, we got the latest population estimates to take it up to 2023. And we've now found there's been a 94% decline since 2007, and there's now only 114 penguins left. So, Save Rockingham's Little Penguins on Facebook is how I'm getting their message out there. I think it's really important. And look, the kids love the penguins. I've been invited to a local primary school several times, and it's just so delightful to be able to provide that education for them, to provide that understanding. So a centre like this is really great for people. In fact, it's really one of the most unknown treasures around. I mean, it only goes from 10 till 3, but it's the yearly event, and you get here, and in fact, I got here at 10:30, and it's buzzing. Only opened at 10. Couldn't get So I recommend everybody come on down. It closes at 3, but it's the best place ever. I'm a member of Naragebup. Means you get to enter for free all year round. They have gardens and facilities that you can use all year round. You've got nice shady spots for picnics and bringing the kids. So I say, get on down. Love Naragebup Regional Environment Centre.
Yeah, actually, oh, sorry, darling. Yeah, it actually is hidden. I actually just found out the other day it was right here, and I was like, what? How did I not know? This is amazing. My children would love to be here, you know, hearing more about the animals, being able to touch it, and just...
The playgrounds. And all the great exhibitors, they're all local people doing their local thing and with their local stuff. There's no commercial stuff at all. There's no rubbish. There's no show bags. No plastic trinkets. It's all down to earth, handmade, great stuff, and entertainment and music and people, and it's a place to be. So get on down, guys.
I know, it's such like when you just come in, like you said, you came at 10:30, it was buzzing. There's just lots of community feel. There's lots of families, lots of children having fun. There is a lot of local businesses, which I'm so going to meet them because I want to know more about what they do. And, you know, especially for the community, like, it's just such an amazing event for a community. And I love the fact that you were talking about the penguins, because, you know, that is a hot topic, especially with the decline in penguins. I didn't realise it was such a decline.
It's really quite shocking, actually.
Yeah.
And really the community are very concerned about it. So we've been busy lobbying the politicians to get their act together and do the job they're supposed to do. Because the little penguin is iconic. It's on our kids' shirts for school. Penguin Road. I mean, how good's Penguin Island with no penguins there? And the other thing I want to say about this fabulous centre here, it's run by volunteers. But there's lots of nice little... If you want to be a volunteer, just a few hours a week, look, it's a really worthwhile thing. You've got lovely people here. You can do something that suits your abilities and interests. And it... You know, many hands make light work. So, and it's a nice social atmosphere. So if you're feeling a bit lonely or need a bit of exercise, it's also very good for that. It's such a amazing community asset for people's headspace. It's like Cape Perrin, the way we managed to save that from the bulldozer. Mental health and wellbeing, we need places like that for mental health and wellbeing. We need Cape Perrin. We need to have Penguin Island conserved. We need Sherwood Islands Marine Park not polluted, and we need that preserved for our environment. And same as here. I mean, you know, number one for mental health and wellbeing for me, and I think a lot of the research says, is exposure to nature and calm places where you feel secure, etc. So mental health, I mean, often people talk to me about mental health in Cape Perrin, the way we managed to save that from the bulldozers. It's really important for people. Same goes for here, to be able to come to such a lovely centre and be immersed in nature, you know, and the wonders of nature and the different smart things we can do. And you can learn lots of stuff here too. Education's fabulous. And it's our kids, they are future leaders. And it really lifts my spirits when I come here and I see the kids here going, wow, I didn't know you could do that. And yes, let's do that better. And yes, let's do that more sustainably, more efficiently. Because I love our animals and I love our environment and I want to protect it. So this is really important.
Yeah, that's true. And so you were talking about the penguins, and I wanted to know, where do they go to find out more information about that? Because, you know, not all of our community or visitors do end up going to Penguin Island. So whereabouts can they find more information?
Well, we've got a Facebook page called Save Rockingham's Little Penguins. My name's Dawn Jex, and if anybody wants to email me, I'm really really easy to find. Just Google Dawn Jex, all sorts of stuff will come up. We've got a website, but it's not up to date because I'm a volunteer and I can't manage to keep it up to date. We've got a website called Save Rockham's Little Penguins as well, but mainly the Facebook, Save Rockham's Little Penguins, because I post there every day. There's all sorts of stuff. It's all very interesting. So if you're a Facebooker, apologies for people who are not, but we do have these wonderful flyers as well. So for people, so yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us on IPL Radio. We really, really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye. See ya. Hi, we've got Brian Walker here with us, and he's from Upper House in Parliament. And I would love to know, what brings you here today?
I came here because Jim Matters, one of the organisers, invited me, and he knows my passion for environment as well. And so he said, why not pop in? I said, yes, for sure, I'm here.
Oh my gosh, that is so good that you came today. Like, what an amazing event, all vibrant. Happy you obviously find out more about what's happening in the community, also about the local businesses as well. So I wanted to know more about, when you said, you know, he said to you to come because you have a passion for the environment. Can you tell me a bit more about what you're focusing on right now?
Oh, right now. Well, you mentioned here the local development in environment. This is essential. The government can make claims and promises, but I don't trust them. It's the local people here in the area who live. For example, you've got Lake Richmond across the water there. Will it be destroyed by a highway coming through? Let's stand and protect the thrombolites. Why not just actually do what we need to do in our own backyards, in our environment, to make the environment better? Canopy growth, for example. Let's get the trees planted. I'm passionate about everyone being engaged to manage the environment because we depend on it. The oxygen we have comes from the trees here, and if we lose that, we're dead.
And tell me more about the water, because I know that that's also a focus point for you. What are you doing with water these days?
The water's been a long-standing interest of mine. I grew up in Australia, left when I was 16, to come back and find that the water levels have fallen, the climate is changing, and we're still cramping in drinking water. Why? It's just a waste of water. There's so much better things being done. In fact, a friend of mine back in the 90s was making sewage plants which changed human waste into electricity, and the end product is a burnable brick or a usable fertilizer. That's a fantastic use of actually the natural environment and protecting us and keeping us, if you like, supplying the needs we have from what we actually have. It's just perfect.
No, it's such an important point, because even when I'm talking with so I have a lot to do with Pakistan and the Indian cultures and country, and so even their lack of water, I think we take it for granted. A lot of the children there don't even have clean water. They're making bricks, and they're from it's quite interesting actually. They make bricks, and have you seen the process how they make bricks? Yeah. So and then they don't even have toilets, and they don't have so they're just going to the toilet on the floor, and so I think we take for granted in Perth, Australia, the fact that we can have such fresh water and clean water. What would you suggest people can do, and people that have a voice as well, because we love giving people a voice, what can they do to actually help improve this situation?
Well, the first thing we've got to recognise is why don't we do this? And it's because people don't have open minds, and they don't use their minds to think and think freely. So if we're not allowing ourselves to think, then we're not going to see these opportunities. So the first question I would have is, let's learn how to think, and that starts in school, better education. Next, we need people in general to actually begin to revise what I have believed so far as normal may not be normal. So sitting in the toilets and putting into clean drinking water, why that? In Hong Kong, for example, we use seawater to flush our toilets with. That's good. You get the effluent going into the sea, of course. You need to treat that. But the idea is we need to be much more careful with how we use our water. Are we wasting it? For example, when you brush your teeth, do you leave your water on as you're brushing your teeth? Why? So we need to actually look at how do we value water. When I was a boy here, we had water restrictions, and we had 3 children in the house. We took one bath with 3 children, so one after the other would come in, and each one would take turns at being first in the bath to save the water. We need to think differently about water and protect it, because it is our lifeblood. We need water.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. My daughter, she was also having a shower the other day, and I turned the water just not on as much because she wanted to play with it, which, that's a whole different story. But yeah, so it is little things that you can think of, putting less water on when you're having a shower, or like you were saying, when you're brushing your teeth, using less water. And also, I think people need to drink more water. I love water. People should drink more water. But also, what's some things as well I'd love to know, because I love education, being a lecturer myself. I love educating more people. So what's some simple things that you do, say at home, or even like what you tell people to do? I know you said about the brushing your teeth, but what's some simple things people can do?
Oh, in general, well, I've got another profession. I may be a member of Parliament, but I'm also still a part-time medical practitioner, a GP in Serpentine. And so people are asking me, what can I do for my wellness? Now, water is a huge part of wellness. Drink more water, and that means you're going to eat less, perhaps, so we can actually have our weight problems could be eased with that. What about if you look at how we pollute our water? Do we have to have, say, fluoride in the water? Now, in the old days, fluoride was used to stop the thyroid overactivity. So when we have fluoride, we're actually giving a suppression to the thyroid gland. So why are we doing that? For our teeth. Well, why are we eating so many sweets in that case? Why not do that, not have fluoride, and then we can just brush our teeth more often and have healthy lives with healthy thyroids. So simple things like that. Other things with the food processing industry, most people don't realize that most of our chronic diseases actually arise from the gut, and the gut is made ill by the food processing industry, which is a major threat to wellness. And we really have to get to grips thinking differently, as what I said earlier. We have to rethink, how do we manage our health, our wellness? And this is where I think medical practitioners are really losing the plot, because we're looking to make diagnoses and diseases, we're not looking how to prevent them, and that has to be a major focus. Our health industry is actually a sickness industry, and it's collapsing financially, and all they're chucking more money at it, and the waiting lists are getting longer, the operations are being postponed. Why is that? Because we're not actually caring for our wellness. Like the environment, we're not caring for our wellness either. So the idea you mentioned here, but we're taking it for granted. Yes, we take it for granted. It's like taking your wallet, take the money out, and you suddenly realize there's no more money in my wallet. Where is the wallet for the environment, the wallet for our wellness? And we have to be aware of this. And then, having thought differently, take action. Sitting back and saying, you ought to do something. No, we must take action. We must stand up, and we must actually demand of ourselves and also of our lawgivers, the politicians and the bureaucracy. We need to demand action.
No, you're so right. I believe in the same thing, because our health is so important, and we can do simple things. And you're right, with operations, I know someone personally that took, they were asked, why did your operation take so long? And it was a 2-year wait, and that's just what the public system is right now. And I know we can be proactive about it and reduce the effects we are having on our body, like drinking more water, thinking about what we're putting into our body, and also thinking about what we're putting into our children. That's a passion of mine, because at the end of the day they're going to copy us, and follow us, and it's not really so much about what we do, it's what we say, it's more about what we do. And so if people wanted to know more about what you're focusing on, if people wanted to get more in contact with you to be able to help you as well, because it's all about many hands make light work, so where could they be able to contact you and reach out to you?
Well, I'm in Parliament now, Upper House, a member, actually leader of the Legalised Cannabis Party in Western Australia, and you could find out all about me on the parliamentary website, or you could follow us on our social media. You might hear about our newest development, how I'm putting $20 million from the savings we would have from legalising recreational cannabis, $1.25 billion over the 4-year forward estimates, if we just legalise recreational cannabis. And that $1.25 billion, we're actually spending certain amounts. We're actually funding areas of activity, and one of them is actually in clean water, managing the toilets, giving a grant there for grey water management, new builds, $4,000 maximum dollars to install systems which would allow us to make better use of our water. And the question is, why isn't this happening already? We need to make this happen right now, because if we look at what's happening, in this month alone, we're going to have 3 days above 35 degrees, the first time ever in October. Are we not seeing climate change? You can argue about the causes all you want. It doesn't make a difference. Climate change is actually measurable. And so what we need to be working out is, how do we live with this? How do we change? How do we develop our businesses? How do we change our actions to live with this and make this better, make our lives easier? And if there is a cause that we are making for climate change, we need to stop doing it, and stop doing it now. And this idea of putting things off until 2030, 2050, no. Now is the time for action, not next month.
No, it's definitely true. We do have to make changes now, because it does affect the future generations. I love what you're doing. Thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. And yeah, go and enjoy this amazing event. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye. Hi everyone, we've got Lorna Buchan here. She's the Deputy Mayor of the City of Rockingham, and we would love to know about what brings you here today.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for asking me to talk today. I'm actually part of the management committee here. I've been coming along for about 4 years, just to offer them some help and advice and support. So I was invited this morning to open today's festival for 2024, which was very exciting, and also to talk a bit about Lake Richmond and the lake, which is called Naragebup. So Nara meaning a cup shape with a very deep middle, that with Nara, Geb meaning fresh water, and up meaning meeting place. because we have some very special organisms in the lake, which are called thrombolites, which are like very similar to the earliest forms of life. And there's a 3-kilometre walk around the perimeter of the lake that you can take self-guided. So lots to see and lots to learn as you do that 3-kilometre walk.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that. And I love that you have such a passion for it. What brought you to really wanting to be part of the committee and volunteering your time? Because I know time is so precious, and so tell me more about that.
I first became aware of the centre prior to being elected to Rockingham Council, and then they came forward for a grant application that unfortunately wasn't successful. So I decided to get in touch with the group and to try and work through the issues to do with that grant, and then sort of stayed on. And I have been part of the management committee since then, because it's such a big undertaking. The centre is open from Wednesday through to Sunday, and it's all volunteer run. There's no paid staff here at all. So I just really want to try and help support not-for-profit in the best way I can.
Ah, that actually is amazing. I love that you actually were thinking, okay, we're not able to help them, but how else can I help them? And you thought to yourself, just, helping them personally, which is like phenomenal. I love that. And just tell me a bit right now with what's happening in the city of Rockingham. Tell me more about what's happening, what you guys are focusing on.
Well, we've got 2 elections next year. We've got the state and federal government elections. So we are promoting some of the infrastructure needs that the city has. So we're looking to work in a positive manner with our local MPs to promote ideas and things that we see the city has a need for, to work together in a positive way to benefit all the community within Rockingham. So that means we're advocating for quite a few pieces of infrastructure, roads, buildings and that sort of thing, and also to try and develop some ecotourism down at Cape Perrin, which is something I think would be very beneficial to the city from a tourism and economic benefit point of view.
Okay, and I love the fact that you said tourism, because I'm more from the north area, and when I was growing up, Rockingham was more about, a holiday place, more about, obviously I've heard of Penguin Island, I haven't been to Penguin Island, and so even I know locals don't actually go out and, be a touristy kind of person in our own state with regards to what City of Rockingham has to offer. What would you say would be some amazing things, especially going into now, it's going to be school holidays as well soon, end of school. So what would you say that with people wanting to, have a community feeling, which Rockingham is, amazing for that feeling, but what attractions would you say that they should come down to see?
Yeah. Well, we've got 37 kilometres of coastline, beautiful beaches. So I'd encourage everyone to come down. Obviously, we've the state-run Learn to Swim programs, which is, obviously we've got to keep everybody safe. But, there's a lot of snorkeling, a lot of beach activities, ocean activities that you can get involved in for a very small amount of money or free, which is a big thing for me because I've got a family of 4 children, which can be very expensive. So free events like today is really important for everyone in the city, so that we can all benefit and we can all take part in anything that the city's putting on. So that's important.
Yeah, I know. I totally resonate with you. I have 4 children myself, and I was, when Janine came in the other day to talk to us about this, I was like, oh my golly, how did I not know this place was here? Because going to the zoo with 4 children is, let alone like my 5-year-old's like, I'm too tired, so we have to bring the pram, and the pram is like so different when you're going to the zoo. Plus you've got to bring the pack lunch, you've got to bring everything else. So the fact that they actually get to come in, see the animals. We've been here for 3 years now with the IPL Radio. So one of our presenters got to hold a snake, which is like stepping out of your comfort zone. I don't know if I'm that, I don't know about that. But like, what else would you find? What do you find? What do you love about here, and what do you think that parents and children would love about coming here?
The gardens are absolutely spectacular. I mean, they really are in full bloom at the moment out there, and there's so much to learn about how they plant, how they what plants they put next to each other so that they have a biodiversity. And there's a Firewise garden as well that was put in last year, so it's really pleasing to see that has really filled out a bit with what we planted this time last year. So it's all about education and the environment, and that was what the purpose of this building was. And this morning I got to hold a blue-tongue lizard for the first time. It was quite surprising. It was very cold to the touch. Yeah, very cold. Yeah, but that was the first time I'd actually held a blue tongue. And if you're very lucky, sometimes they have turtles. When they get washed down from Exmouth, they get washed down sometimes, and they are collected on the beach here. So if you do find a turtle, pick it up, put it in a towel in a box, and bring it down to the centre, and they will look after it here, or they will send it to Perth Zoo or wherever it needs to go to. But sometimes they have turtles as well.
I know, when Janine told me that the other day about turtles, I was like, oh my gosh, I would love that. Blue-tongue lizards, when I was little, we used to see them but kind of like walk around them. I've never touched one. I didn't know they were cold. Well, thank you so much for your time, Lorna. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and love what you're doing with this facility, so keep doing what you're doing, and I'm so thankful that you did reach out to them and commit your time, and to everyone else, come on down, have some fun, and all the best. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay, thank you for letting me talk to you, and to talk to you about the centre and also the lake, which is very important to us. Okay,
awesome. Thank you.